probably have other songs about sex too. I have a song called Trépate that I just dropped last year. That's
I'm
like,
uncomfortable. No, I'm just kidding.
oh my bad.
No,
I mean,
I'm
these are what the
kidding. No,
songs
I'm
are.
kidding. So, who has influenced your music style?
Man, it's a long journey.
Okay, take me back.
I mean, so merengue and salsa was always playing in the house. I wouldn't know exactly which artist. I think my mom played a lot of Christian salsa back in the day. So I definitely don't remember the artists. If you pressed me for it and I saw the CD cover, I'd probably be like, yeah, that was the Christian salsa
Yeah,
band
yeah,
that
yeah.
my mom had playing in the house. But I have, and we can get into this if you want to, but I have 6 sisters, 5 older sisters.
Oh,
So
wow.
they definitely brought Tupac and Biggie into the crib. They brought freestyle and house and all of that music into the crib. Can you swear on this? Yeah. Okay.
Can we swear?
Can we?
Can we swear?
Can I be like all that shit they brought into the crib? Anyways, I mean a lot of my music it's about life, right? So like sex is a big part of life because I feel like in church I was like sex is bad, and so like experimenting with all that shit, it was like liberating and figuring out what I wanted to do with all that. So like I dropped like 3 EPs in 2019, pretty much about sex, like relationships, and like the first EP is like about finding your sanctuary because I find out the baby's not mine. Then the second EP is like an epiphany. It's like, yo, like music is my main thing and be free about it all. Like free love and all that shit. Peace and love. And then the last, I didn't want to, it was like a healing journey. I didn't want the last EP in that series to be like continuously healing. I wanted to show the truth about like falling back into shit. So like the last EP was called XXX Comunión. So it's like triple X, but it's about like failing to continue in your healing journey. So it's like going back to the stupid shit. So that was like that 3 EP series. But yeah, that was, I probably have other songs about sex too. I have a song called Trépate that I just dropped last year. That's
I'm
like,
uncomfortable. No, I'm just kidding.
oh my bad.
No,
I mean,
I'm
these are what the
kidding.
songs
No, I'm
are.
kidding.
Like Trépate encima ma. But anyways.
What does your romantic life look like today?
So today I have a fiance. I have a baby. Little Luca is 9 months. So this is my first year in fatherhood. I've done fatherhood in the past for 3 years. It's very different though. I feel
How so?
like I'm definitely a different person than I was over 10 years ago.
Okay.
I feel like my patience is a lot bigger than it was back in the day.
Yeah.
But also this kid is like, just, I don't know. It was like, I'm obviously living it today. I'm very much in the present, and it's a very special relationship. Not to say that the relationship wasn't back in the day. Babies are just cute as fuck. So like, if you're like raising a baby, you're gonna connect with the kid. So I don't know, like there's a very strong connection. And any types of breaks to that connection would be like, I can't even imagine or fathom it. So that's the relationship I have with my baby. My fiance is a creative. I think that was something that I needed to find in a partner, someone who's creative. She's a hairstylist, wardrobe stylist, makeup artist. Very different field of music, of art, than mine. But we find ways to make ours work together. She's taught me that I could be a wardrobe stylist. A lot of the DIY skills that I do for my own music videos, set design, styling, I started to like implement for other people. So like during the shutdowns, like it was nice to kind of just tap into like a different form of art. And that's thanks to her. I think my philosophy is that people do change. I think that who she will be in the next 4 to 5, 7 years, whatever, it's gonna be very different than who I will be. But I feel like I found somebody whose like journey I really respect, and someone who I'm down to continuously fall in love with over and over again as we like have to learn who we are, because we're gonna like definitely wake up one day and be like, yo, you're so different than the person I met. And I think dating's still important. um and yeah, so like we both have a very like our philosophies in like love, sex, it's very, I feel like, different than a lot of people.
How
So
so?
we're both pan, so we're both queer. Um, so we don't want our relationship to restrict us like religion did for me as a child, to keep us in a certain box that we have to play by. We want to respect each other the most as possible, forever and ever. But that also includes being happy for them, including like wanting them to experience joy, like full joy. So we're pan, we're poly. Um, we have our own conversations about our own rules that we set for each other. Um, and yeah, I mean, we're still like a new relationship. Like we've been together 2 years, going on 3. Um, our baby's just 9 months old, so like I feel like everything's so brand new in our lives. And I think our main focus right now in our lives isn't so much our sexual or romantic journey, though it was in the very beginning of our relationship. I think right now we're both trying to like establish this like ground base for our baby and our family, and like kind of just make sure we have all the securities that we need, like as we move forward, because we have very, very big aspirations.
How does it make you feel how people perceive you?
Yeah. So them thinking that I'm intimidating is weird. The people that know me as like versatile, I think that's cool. Like I like that, but then there's the dark side of being versatile, which is like, oh, he doesn't know what he's on. So it's like, oh, he does R&B, he does reggaeton, he does trap, he does this, that. And so like people are just like, this guy doesn't really have a sound or a brand or a like specific look. Because I'm also down to experiment with looks, fashion, like fluidity and gender. Like I'm down to experiment with all of it. So I think that gives some people, a weird, like they don't know what page I'm on, which could be a problem with today's like niche like marketing, where everybody's got to be like
One thing or another.
one thing.
Yeah.
I definitely try. Sometimes I feel like I try to put myself into like one flow for like a minute, but like, and I could blame the Gemini. I could blame the month I was born on and the time I was born on, whatever. But I feel like the Gemini in me just likes the multifaceted, like the gender fluidity, the fluidity of life in general. Like, and I really wish that there was a way to convey that in marketing or in branding, to an audience. But it's, unless you're like at the top, like Prince or Bad Bunny, as like, even Bad Bunny, like he was just trap for like a long time. Then once he got to a certain place, he could play with all of that. And so how does it make me feel? Sometimes it makes me feel like I gotta put myself in a box to some extent. And I hate boxes. But I feel like audiences understand boxes. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, my audience is stupid, but like, it's just the way marketing works. Like, like I'm one singer compared to millions in the earth that all want to be heard, and there's a way to play a certain game to like be heard. Then once you're heard, then you can play with, once you have your like niche, your tribe, then you can kind of explain to your tribe everything you are, everything you want to convey in a message, and all the building that you want to do with your tribe. But you got to find the tribe first. And I feel like switching things so fast on people makes it very hard to find a tribe.
Speaking of congas, I have something to tell you.
You play congas?
No, that's not what I'm going to say. So you probably don't remember this. I hope you don't remember this. Years ago, you were playing at a show, and I knocked into one of your congas.
You did?
And you yelled at me, and I yelled at you back. So I'm sorry for knocking into
Wait,
your
you knocked into one of my... I yelled at you?
You yelled at me.
Was that like...
And then someone else yelled at me, and then we were in a screaming fight about congas.
We were in a screaming fight?
You and another person. I forgot who the other, but because I was standing on a table.
So I guess that's why people are intimidated by me.
I was standing on a table. I was standing on a table.
Congas.
I was standing on a table, and the congas were right next to the table, and I accidentally stepped.
Wait, you were standing on a table?
Yeah. Yeah, I was standing on a table, and then I accidentally stepped on the conga, and then I got
so
yelled.
You went from the conga to you went from the table to the conga.
It was right next to each other. In my defense,
I can see that being like, yo, you're about to break my conga head.
Right,
Yeah,
and so
were you wearing heels?
Maybe.
Damn. Yeah. No. Okay. I can see myself.
So we it was like a. So I'm sorry about stepping on your congas.
Damn, I don't remember that. I ain't gonna lie. When was this?
I don't want to date myself, but it was years ago.
Okay, because my music career, well, with congas, I've been playing congas since 2015 at parties.
So I'm sorry.
So this could have been a long ass
I'm
time.
sorry.
I don't even remember. I've had so many conga incidents at this point. I think that I get protected with my congas because a conga head is a little expensive.
Yeah, I mean.
So let me explain. That's
what you said.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you were explaining congas, and I'm just trying to listen to music.
Yeah, it's like,
I
yo,
don't care about your congas.
I don't care about your congas.
Right.
But one time I was playing at Twisted Cantina.
That's where it was.
Damn. Twisted got lit, yo.
Yeah. So that's where it was at.
So I wasn't really positioned in a place at Twisted Cantina where I could be
It was up against the wall.
Yeah, I was always against the wall where the DJ booth is at. So the DJ booth is up. And I can't really be up there with them.
Yeah, you were up against the wall
I have
on the table where I was
standing. Space to be at.
Yep.
So I'm close to the DJ booth, but I'm right where the audience is dancing, which is dope if you're playing congas and you're, people are enjoying it. But people have
stepped on them?
Slapped the conga. One guy had his watch with spikes on it or some shit. He played the conga and he literally tore a hole through it. And I was like, bro, you're not gonna pay for this. I had to go to Twisted Cantina. We had to go to their cameras during the event to figure out who did it. We rewinded. We found the guy who broke the conga head, and they're like, "We'll go talk to him for you." I was like, "Please, y'all barely paying me enough to be playing congas here tonight." So no offense to Twisted.
Right.
I don't think it was even Twisted's thing. It was just some party organizer.
Well, I was one of those. I'm sorry.
You worked for Twisted?
No, I'm saying that messed up your conga.
No, but you didn't break it.
No, I didn't break it.
I remember the people who broke
No,
the
I didn't.
congas.
I didn't break.
And I don't remember that incident.
No,
but I was probably also I get free liquor a lot, so it's just pouring, it's just coming in the whole night. So which doesn't affect my ability to play congas, which is dope.
Weird. I mean, it's in you.
It's just I've been playing since I was 5 years old. I'm just going.
Yeah.
But I do remember the people who have broken it.
Yeah, I didn't break it.
It becomes a thing where I have to figure out if they can actually help me pay for that.
Yeah.
Or what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we gonna figure out now? Because now I gotta pay for this out of pocket, out of the gig money that I barely made. And this was early on, probably when I was just starting to gig.
6 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. This is when I was barely a singer. I was mostly just playing congas at parties and shit like that. Yeah.
So okay. I'm really sorry. I hope you can forgive me.
I forgive you. Cheers. All right. So Hardin. Hardin. You want to know what the music video is about? Or the whole song?
The whole song. What is it about?
All right. So when I wrote that song, so it's about my name, my music, my legacy, my future. It's not something that's easy to stain. It's not something that's easy to discard. I guess I had a feeling where people would love to see me disappear. I think this feeling came from the shutdown. There was less interactions with people, less of my community around. And there's two ways of seeing it. There's one night everyone's going through the same thing, or there's the You get salt, like sometimes you feel a little salty in the music industry when you see like um, other people succeeding in ways that you know that you could, but you can't or you haven't yet. And you gotta check yourself. But Jardín comes from a place where it's like, I felt like I wasn't being given my flowers for the length of time that I have been doing music in Chicago. And it's very interesting because, and it's probably the first time I'll probably say this out loud or publicly, but it's like, I felt like I was doing really well in music. You know, I was just continuously climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. In 2019 especially. I got a record label that wanted to release my music, which we did. I had another record label in LA who wanted to meet me in person, which never happened because of the shutdowns. I had shows in Montreal, in New York, in Mexico City, and everything planned out for me in 2020. I left Chicago. Like I sold all my stuff and I moved out of Chicago. And I was gonna be nomadic for a while. And the first city was Texas. But I felt like during the shutdown, I came back. Having sold everything, I basically lost everything. So I went back to my parents' house. So it was very humbling, very much feeling like a failure to all the people who donated money and their time to me leaving Chicago. Like people came to my going away party, they were like down to donate for like my tour and stuff like that. Like we did a whole crowdfunding thing. And now that money was used to like just come back to Chicago and like survive with no job, no prospect. I also quit my job, so I couldn't really apply for what's it called?
Unemployment.
Unemployment, yeah. I couldn't really apply for that directly until like pandemic unemployment kind of became a thing. I figured that game out. But anyways, the shutdown was just took a really big toll on me. When the music industry started to open back up, festivals started to come back, journalism was back, the turnover rate was crazy. So like, so many people had lost their jobs. People who I once confided in for TRNSCEND, for NPR, for all the people. I've been written by Latina, like I've been written by so many like dope journalists and dope publications. They weren't there no more. So like, I was like, crap. This is why I can't understand why people confide in TikTok, because like you can become a self-made celebrity, whatever. But like the old school way, or the way that I went about it, the right way, like I built connections. I went to South by Southwest. I made like physical connections with journalists, met people. I put in the groundwork, I put in the time, and now none of those people were around. They either quit, they moved to other publications, they were assigned to other jobs, and I just felt like I was starting over again. So Jardín, the song comes from this like frustrated place where I'm just frustrated that these flowers are not coming to me. So then it's like a rewiring of your brain. It's like, well, I say in the very beginning of the song, it's like, tengo flores en mi jardín. So I have flowers in my own garden. I have so many flowers in my own garden. I have my community that I can tap into. That I have my own talent, my own history, my people. That I have so much flowers. I have flowers to give to you. So it's like, let me reverse this. Like, I can't lose at what's been made for me. I can't. You can only attract what you think, basically. And I basically needed to, during the shutdown, like rewire my brain. And I wrote a song about it. So Jardín is basically me fighting that urge to feel salty, basically.
Yeah, and
just
shifting your mentality around
Yeah.
how you feel about yourself and how you perceive yourself and others.
Yeah, it's like becoming new. It's like kind of being reborn. The bridge, aquí crecen flores, aquí crecen flores. It's like just me it's like an affirmation to myself. My friend wrote like a part to that bridge where he's singing to a batala. So I'm singing the lyrics, but he wrote that specific Lukumi language part. Aguile, Aguile, and I'm saying Aguile, Aguile, and it's like Ovatala, clear the path, like make it clear for me. So I don't know. I needed that. I needed that song. I needed that. Like I needed to feel that saltiness. I needed to feel that like. It's the music industry is hard work. It's gonna be hard work forever, and the turnover rate was something that I'd never experienced. And like from 2015 to like 2020, so that's like 5 years of like consistently being interviewed and written about and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it disappears. And it's like, yo, my whole career was like based on these specific relationships I built. And I know it's about who you know. So it's like, time to keep going. Build new relationships, keep building. You can't just rely on old relationships. And you could, but it's basically about just continuously building that that Rolodex of relationships.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it. The other side is like I mentioned, I kind of hinted at it with TikTok, but it's like just really like just keep doing you, stay in your lane, and people they'll just come. Like whether it takes a long time, whether it's short, I realized that the people that have been with me from day one, they were still there. So it was like Texas has been showing me a lot of love. Like Texas still put my music out in 2020. They put my music out in 2021 at the record label in Texas that I've been working with.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Let's see. I'm dropping nonstop music. I signed a contract to a distribution deal, which I'm very happy about.
Congrats.
And I'll be dropping songs like damn near every month with music videos, and like I said, it's always all over the place. So it might be reggaeton, it might be R&B, it might be boleros. It's basically what I love to do. And the distribution deal really helps me be more flexible so I can stay the person I am. So if you want to stay in touch, stay in tune, subscribe.
I'm kidding.
Check out Lester Ray Music on Gmail. On Instagram.
Did you just say Gmail?
I'm really getting into this. I swear, I'm really getting into this. Yeah, please don't Gmail me. Like, hey, what's your music? No.
AOL Messenger.
Yeah, if you're trying to book me for a show, then Gmail me. Gmail. No, but you can subscribe, lesterray.com. And I feel like I have to always say this. Lester Ray is R-E-Y.
Like Ray.
Ray. Yeah, it's Lester Ray, R-E-Y, not R-A-Y. And it is 2 R's. Lester ends with the R. Ray starts with the R. People sometimes just be like, is it Lester with 1 R? I'm like, no, it's Lester Ray. That's how you find me on Instagram. That's how you find my website as well. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming to Don Pez with me.
Yo, yes, I need to get some Don Pez, for real.